Hello friends, welcome again. In this lecture, we will learn how to build an interactive dashboard. Suppose you are working as a business analyst in one of the manufacturing company, and in that company, one of your production manager asks you to build an interactive dashboard for the SKU, so that the production manager can see what is the status of the any particular SKU right now, such as what is the inventory level of that SKU, and also the inventory level at warehouse level, how many purchase order are there in the backlog, and what is the contractual turnaround time of that SKU. Now, for building this dashboard, the production manager has given the business analyst three information. The first information he has given about the inventory level, the second one is purchase order information, and the third one is contractual turnaround time. So let's start. So the first information which was shared by the production manager is inventory information. In inventory information, the first column is SKU. Against each SKU, there is a location is given, allocation is given, stock is given, and in transit quantity is given. Here allocation means, so what is the maximum level of quantity can be kept at this particular warehouse. For example, for SKU1, 296 is the maximum quantity which can be kept at a Dell location warehouse. Okay. The second table which was shared by the production manager is purchase order. The first column shows our purchase order, the second column shows the SKU, and the third column shows the quantity, how much quantity has been purchased, and the purchase order value, on which date it has been purchased. The third table which was shared by the production manager is about the contractual TAT. So against each SKU, a contractual TAT is given. So what is the contractual TAT? Contractual TAT is the contractual turnaround time. That is the allowable time. Within this time, the vendor has to send the SKU back to the company. Otherwise, there will be penalty for the vendor company. So let's start and make a beautiful dashboard for our production manager. Let's put the name here, dashboard. Okay. First of all, let's enter SKU, which SKU information we want to see. Now inventory information. Okay, and let's merge it. Okay, the first one is allocation, total allocation of SKU across all warehouse, and what is the stock of that SKU, what is in transit quantity of that SKU, and then percentage of stock as compared to the allocation. Okay, and yeah. Let's put it here. Okay, here we can see the what is the contractual TAT of that SKU. Purchase order information. We can give the title of a purchase order here. The first information we are seeking, we can put it this one here. First information, count of PO, that is the purchase orders. the second one back order quantity, that is how many quantities are with the vendor which need to be shipped by them. The order value as well. Okay, yeah, put it here this way. And you can write contractual TAT only here. Okay, and we can give the title of the dashboard SKU dashboard here. And increase its font from here and let's bold it. Okay, now suppose for example we are seeking the information of SKU1. Okay, that's the baseline. So here we will use the SUMIF function to get the inventory information. So here we will use the SUMIF function to calculate the allocation, stock and in transit quantity. So SUMIF and bracket open. First of all we need to take the range of this criteria. Here the criteria is SKU1. So go to the inventory information and the criteria range is this one. Select this one, comma, and what is the criteria? Go to dashboard, and this one is SKU1 is the dash criteria. And what is the sum range? That is quantity we are talking about, and here we are calculating the allocation quantity. So here the quantity range, bracket close it. See, the SKU1 allocation is 2062 quantity across all the warehouse. Similarly for the stock, equal to SUMIF range of the criteria, that is SKU1, and that we will select this one, and what is the criteria? Criteria is SKU1 and sum is of stock. We will select the stock. Okay, close. Similarly for the transit, range is SKU, then criteria, go back to dashboard and select the SKU1, and some range is for the in transit quantity. Select the in transit quantity, close. See, now if I want to calculate the percentage of the stock, the percentage of stock can be calculated by using this formula, and that is stock plus in transit quantity and divided by allocation. Okay, so putting the formula here, equal to, using the relative reference, first of all stock, that is I9, plus in transit quantity, bracket close, then divided by allocation and close. We can format this cell. For that, right click the mouse, go to the format cell and go to the percentage, then click OK. So if your manager want to see how this percentage stock has been calculated, so he can see here how it is done. Okay, now let's go to the purchase order information. Here we need to use the countif function to count the number of POs. So count if, and what is the range, and range is of the SKU, and what is the criteria, criteria is the SKU1, and bracket close. Okay, only 6 purchase order are with the vendors. In this 6 purchase order, what are the quantities? So here we will use the SUMIF function. SUMIF and range, go to the purchase order, and range is SKU1. Criteria, go to the dashboard and use the SKU1 as the criteria, and sum range is of the quantity, and close. See, 292 quantities are with the vendor. Now, and if a production manager want to know the what is the total order value with the vendor, so he can see this information here, and we can do this calculation using the SUMIF. SUMIF, and what is the range here? Range is SKU1, and what is the criteria? Criteria is SKU1. What is the sum range? Sum range is this one, order value. Select this one, close. Okay, so we need to format this cell and convert it to the currency value. Select the cell, right click the mouse, go to the format cell, and currency is this one, and we want the dollar currency, English United States dollar. Click OK. Okay, now here we need to find out what is the contractual TAT of the SKU. So here the simple, we need to use the VLOOKUP for doing it. So VLOOKUP, lookup value is this one, and go to the TAT, select the table, and the column is 2, the TAT is at 2, and range is 0, bracket close, click OK. And the TAT is of 12 days for this SKU1. Now all the information which has been calculated here is on the basis of the SKU1 only. If I change it to the SKU2, so all the corresponding information will come up. Okay, similarly for SKU3, I can put here SKU3, and all the information will come up here. Okay, manager also want to see the allocation and stock information at a warehouse level. So how we can do it? So let's go back to the inventory information, and here we will use the pivot table to draw the warehouse level information. Along with it, we will also use the one of the pivot very special feature, that is slicer. Okay, first of all, select the table, go insert pivot table, and I will make the pivot table in new sheet. Click OK. Okay. Now if I want to see the information for each SKU, so I need to put this SKU header in the filter, and warehouse should be in the rows, and this allocation, stock, and in transit all are numerical numbers, so it should be in the calculation block, stock here and in transit. See, all the corresponding table has been generated here. So if I select one of the SKU, the corresponding allocation, stock, information is generated here for each warehouse. Okay, now I want to present this information in the form of graph, so I will use the graph here. So for making the graph, go to the pivot table, analyze, and on the right hand side you will see the pivot chart that you can click and click OK. See, the chart has been generated automatically and we can beautify it according to our requirement. So I will this one and put the legend on the bottom side. So I will go to the design, add chart element, legend, bottom. Okay, I also want to show the data labels as well, so I will again go back to that add chart element, data labels, at also at end I will show it. I also want to remove this grid lines, so go back to the add chart elements, grid lines, and primary major horizontal is removed here. Okay, and also want to give the title here. To again go back in there, chart title above the chart. So chart is warehouse inventory information. Okay, oh okay, I will hide this button. Okay, now it's looking nice. Now I will introduce very important feature here, that is slicer. So what is the function of slicer here? Now suppose the manager want to see the warehouse information, what is the allocation stock information of each SKU. So he needs to go here, click here and select that at SKU level here, at the, for example SKU 14, then click OK. Then this information is displayed. So there should be a way so that the manager can directly click that button and all the information is shown on the screen. For that you need to use the slicer. Go to the pivot table, analyze, and you will see here insert slicer. Click OK. All the headers will come up. I want to use the SKU because we are filtering the SKU information on. Click OK, then OK. See, this slicer has come up. In this slicer the header is SKU and all the filters, whatever we want to filter is coming here. If I want to filter for the SKU1, I can click SKU1. So similar, this information is reflected here as well. You can go down, all the SKU is shown here. Okay, if a manager want to see the information of SKU6, he can click it here. Okay, here. Okay, now I will just cut this information and go to the dashboard and paste here. Okay, I will then go back to the sheet 1 and I will cut this information and paste here. Okay, and I will put this like this and extend the graph and let's beautify it. And I will put a thick border here. And merge it, change its color, fill the color with something else and border it. Now it is looking nice. I click here, so the information changing, and for the seeing this information, inventory information, purchase order, contractual TAT, I need to change the information here as well. So in this way we can make this chart but it is very inconvenient for the production manager to first of all click here to see the warehouse level information and enter the SKU here to see this information as well. So we need to find a way to connect this information with this one. If I, for example, if I click SKU1, so simultaneously this information will be reflected here, and then this inventory information, purchase order information, contractual information also changes according to the SKU. So how we can do it? One way of doing is we can use the VBA macro here, coding to do it, but it is out of our scope. So, and the other way we can use the relative reference. So how we can do it? We can take directly the value from pivot table and use it here and click OK. Okay, see what is happening here. I have given the reference of sheet 1 B1, that is sheet 1 B1 is the location of this cell, that is the pivot cell. So if I select the SKU10, the changes will be made here. See, the selection has been made here and the corresponding information is shown here. So SKU10 will show up here by the relative reference. This SKU10 will be reflected here. Okay, and this SKU10 information will be used here in the inventory information, purchase order information and contractual TAT information to show. Okay, I will just beautify this one as well. And fill some colors. And bold it. Okay. So this is the one of the dashboard which you can make and give it to your production manager. So let's do it once more so that it is clear to you. I will just go to new sheet and rename dashboard practice. Okay, so I will just take some information here, put it there. Okay, now first of all we will calculate this inventory information, purchase order information, contractual TAT using the Excel function, and the reference for the calculation will be the SKU1. Okay, so whenever any changes is made here, same changes will be shown here as well. That is the corresponding value of that SKU will be calculated here as well. For the allocation, but we have used the SUMIF. Okay, I will go here quicker so that we can understand it. Here the range is inventory information, the range is SKU, and go back here. And what is the criteria? Criteria is SKU1, and what is the sum range? Sum range is allocation. And close. Similarly, for the stock we will use the SUMIF function. What is the range? Range is for the is this one. And what is the criteria? The criteria is SKU1. And what is the sum range? The sum range is stock. Bracket close. Done. SUMIF. And what is the range? Range is SKU, and criteria is SKU1, and in transit. Close. So, and the percentage stock is the summation of stock plus in transit divided by allocation. Okay, let's do it for the purchase order. The count of POs, we will use the counted function. And what is the range here? Range is SKU. What is the criteria? Criteria is this one, bracket close. And bracket is the back order quantity. We will use the submit function. And what is the range here? A range in this one. The criteria is this one, SKU1. And what is the sum range? Sum range is quantity. Bracket close. What is the order value? Here we will use the fSubmit function. What is the range? Range is SKU. What is criteria? Criteria is SKU1 and sum range is this one. Bracket close. Okay, and TAT, we will use the VLOOKUP function. Lookup value is this one, and table array is this one. Selecting the table, and column is 1, 2, 0 for exit match and close. Okay, now the warehouse level information. For that, we will go to the inventory information and select the table, insert pivot table. We will generate the pivot table in the new sheet. Click OK. The SKU is in the filter, location is in the row, then allocation, stock and in transit are the numerical values, so they are in the calculation block. So we need the sum of this all the quantity, so it is correct. Now let's select them. Now let's make the graph here. For the graph, go to the pivot table, analyze. Pivot table chart is there, and we want the column chart, so I will select the column chart. Click OK. I want to put this legend at the bottom, so I will go click the chart, go to design, and then go to the add chart element, and legend is there, put bottom. I want to show the data label here, so I will select this one, go to design and data labels, outside end. If I want to move this information from the chart, so how you can do it? Okay, go here, right click it here, and you will see the hide all field buttons on the chart. Okay, it will disappear. Okay, if I want the chart title, I can go there, chart title, above the chart I can put inventory information. Okay. Grade 1 I want to remove it, grade lines, and format 1 I want to outline as well, this one. Now I want to use the slicer because I don't want my production manager to go here and click the filter here and select each one. It will be very cumbersome for him as well. So that to make the life easy for him, I will generate the slicer here. So for slicer, go to the pivot table, analyze, insert slicer. So here the filter has to be done for the SKU only, so I will select the SKU. Click OK. So the slicer is there. Now cut paste both of them and put it here. Okay. Now if I click any of the button, the corresponding information is changing here, but not here. So I need to connect this information with this one, so that if I click anything, the corresponding information should also change here. How I can do? I will use the relative reference information here. Okay, so I will take the equal to sign and go to the sheet 3 and give the reference of this cell B1 and click OK. So if I click SKU13, this changes is made here. So how it is changes is being made here? If I click here, the changes is being made here, that SKU13 is coming up here, and through relative reference this information is shown here at F4 cell and by F4 cell. So earlier all the calculation we have done is done by giving the reference of this F4 cell. Okay, this dashboard has been made. Now we can beautify it according to our requirement. Dashboard. Okay, and we can merge it and this one, fill it with this color. Okay, done. Now see, this is working now. Okay, this is working now. So this finishes our lecture. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you and have a nice day.